Welcome to the New Song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. Today we have Brenton Brown sharing his new song, Higher. So sit back and enjoy this New Song Cafe. Brenton, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jimmy.
It's great to have you back in the New Song Cafe.
I love it here. I would make this my home if I could.
But today we're listening to a song called Higher.
Yep.
And this is a cool song. One reason is that it's an upbeat song. You don't find a lot of great upbeat worship songs. I think there's a real shortage of that. And this is a really fun, upbeat song, but also has a great message. Talk a little bit about this song, because I know you worked on this one, I think, by yourself.
Yes, I did. Although I have a few people I should probably thank. But about 5 years ago, when people started singing these songs that I was writing, a couple theologians got in touch with me and went, "Hey, buddy, no pressure, but I just think you should know you're shaping people's theology." I was like,
wow.
"What? I'm just writing songs." They were like, "Well, people sometimes can remember songs long after they've forgotten sermons, so you do have this kind of pastoral responsibility as a writer." So I kind of took that seriously, and then I got hold of a theologian from South Africa and called him up and said, "Hey, Derek, I need help. Can you help me? Can you check my lyrics and just make sure there's no heresy in them? Because I just want to make sure at the most basic level that we're singing songs that are Orthodox Christianity." And he went, "Okay, if you teach a class on the kingdom of God." So he did this deal with me. So I started a class at our church, and I taught, I guess you guys call it Sunday school here in the States, but I taught a class on the kingdom of God, and it was actually, it's as they say, teaching is the best way to learn, and I did learn a few things. And one of the chapters in that course was from the book of Daniel, where Nebuchadnezzar has a dream, and in the dream there's a rock that basically destroys the stone idol and gets larger and larger until it fills the earth. And this rock is actually speaking of Jesus. It's talking about the kingdom of God coming through the person of Jesus in the New Testament, and how this rock will outlast and outgrow every single kingdom on earth. And just as in the global economy we've gone through a dip, and people have felt the stresses and concerns of hard economic times, I just began to even as our little family were feeling that, began to just look up a little bit and go, all right, here are some earthly kingdoms, and I guess there's an element of trust that we've put in them, but really the kingdom that lasts, the kingdom that will outlast all the other kingdoms, is the kingdom of God. And I love that verse in Revelation: the kingdoms of this world have become the kingdom of our God, and he will reign forever and ever, is the Handel's version of that. So this really is kind of a song about that, about how God is higher and greater and stronger than any kingdom. And even though we go through shakings as nations and difficult times as nations, our trust is in the Lord, and he is reliable.
Wow. Well, play it for us. I'd love to hear it.
All right. Empires fall, but you're still standing. You were there from the beginning, and you'll be there when this life on earth is done. Kings and kingdoms will be shaken, shooting stars, each one is fading. Jesus, you're still shining brighter than the sun. You are higher than all rulers, than all powers, rock of ages, you're the hope that remains. The beginning and the ending, everlasting, never ending. Jesus, we're held in your hands. You are the fortress that will not be shaken. You are the strength of our hearts. You are our rock. You're the hope of this nation, and we will trust in you, God. 'Cause you are higher than all rulers, than all powers, rock of ages, you're
What a great message. You're the fortress that will not be shaken. Just a great, timely message for the church. And again, like a really, just a lot of energy in the song. I guess if you were a jumping church, this would be a great jumping song.
This would be the right kind of BPM to jump to, for sure.
That's
yeah.
right. Well, kind of walk us through, you're playing a lot of bar chords.
I am.
Yeah, walk us through what you're playing there.
Which is quite unusual for me, is it not? I think we've probably done about 20 of these, and maybe 19 of them have been in the shape of G major.
That's right.
Yeah. I think people may be surprised that I can play in the shape of D major. I am a little surprised. But yeah, I'm playing a lot of bar chords and I'm fretting, but that's kind of the punky sound of it. I'm not really looking to have any of the strings ring too much. And the chords are super simple: D to G, D to G, D to A. That's the verse. So it's just, I'm just playing it like a, yeah. If you've ever played in a little punk band, you know this is basically your bread and butter. But you know, I'm South African, and Tree 63 had this kind of punky sound, and I remember when I heard it the first time, I was like, oh, that's so fun. And it kind of, Paul Balash and I have been on this mission to introduce songs that let you smile in church, because there've been so many great songs, but a lot of them have really quite a lot of intensity to them, and they're not necessarily the kind of songs you can look across at your wife and smile during. It would feel weird, but obviously, you know, joy is a big part of the kingdom of God. I love Psalm 16, in your presence is fullness of joy. And we're just trying to write songs and introduce some songs that allow us just to be joyful in God's presence, and that was the hope with this song. And then the chorus is, you are high, it's a B minor. You are higher, it's a G played with a bar chord, than any rulers, any others, rock of ages, you're the hope that remains. And that ends on the A.
Yeah.
And then the only interesting or tricky thing at the end, one of my favorite parts of the song is, Jesus, we're held in your hands. We're held in your hands. We're held in your hands. And those really are just the chorus chords, but I'm singing a melody that kind of sings over the bar. So it kind of feels more complicated than it really is. But on the record, we kind of made that down. Jesus, we're held in your hands. We're held in your hands. Oh, sorry. Jesus, we're held in your hands. We're held in your hands. We're held in your hands.
Yeah. And also walk us through the bridge part. You kind of go down and play some open chords during that, away from the bar chords. But yeah, kind of walk us through what you're doing there.
Yeah, eventually I gave in to the acoustic inclinations that I have. But really it's just a D shape that I'm playing on the G string and the B string, second fret of the G string, which is an A note, third fret of the B string, which is a D note. And I'm just going, you are the fortress. Let me just do that. So I'm just going, you are the fortress that will not be shaken. I'm really just going up and down.
Yeah, just walking it up.
You are the strength of our hearts. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Simple man, simple chords.
Well, man, thanks for sharing with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.